Disclosure Petition II. The Rockefeller Initiative will be submitted to the White House on the morning of February 23. That evening, PRG Executive Director Stephen Bassett will appear on Coast to Coast AM, February 23, 10 to 11 p.m. PST, to discuss with George Noory why the disclosure petition process underway at We the People could represent a breakthrough in the truth movement. The petition will have 30 days until March 23 to acquire 25,000 signatures and force a second response from the Obama administration. Anyone from any nation will be able to sign this petition.
Have 30 days from February 23rd to get 25,000 signatures on this second petition. They raised the bar to 25,000, was 5. If we get those 25,000, the White House will have to respond to this petition. Now, what is this petition? That's where it gets interesting. It's called Disclosure Petition II, the Rockefeller Initiative. I think very few of your listeners know about what I'm about to tell them. Namely, that after the Cold War ended, billionaire Lawrence Rockefeller, who's a friend of the Clintons, on March the 29th of 1993, approached the administration with a letter to Dr. John Gibbons, the head of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, same one, requesting that he be able to meet with the president, send a letter to the president with the intention of getting Bill Clinton to start releasing all of the UFO files in our agency and military services, as well as reopening the investigations and getting this thing going again. In other words, Lawrence Rockefeller wanted Bill Clinton to be the disclosure president. This initiative is what we call it, the Rockefeller Initiative, went on for 3 years. There were meetings held up at the JY Ranch, Rockefeller's ranch in Wyoming. Bill and Hillary Clinton met privately with Rockefeller at his ranch in 1995. The people that knew about it and were involved and/or were involved with this initiative included Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, First Lady Hillary Clinton, now Secretary of State, his Chief of Staff Leon Panetta, recently head of the CIA, now Secretary of Defense, John Podesta, his key advisor and Chief of Staff, who became the transition chair for the Obama administration after the election, and is one of the most important advisors in the Democratic Party. Former Governor Bill Richardson, friend of the Clintons, Albert Gore. These are the people that knew about this. None of these individuals have ever spoken publicly about this initiative, said a word, or have they been asked a single question by the press, such as the nature of the truth embargo. Well, guess what? In 2000, Canadian researcher Grant Cameron filed a Freedom of Information Act request of the OSTP, requesting everything from that period regarding Rockefeller, UFOs, ETs, the works, and surprise, surprise, got back 1,000 pages of documents confirming the whole thing. And so what we have now is there's a website up, presidentialufo.com, that has the narrative about all of this, plus all of the documents. All 1,000 of these pages most of them can be downloaded from that site. Plus, 8 years ago, I created a Rockefeller Initiative section at ParadigmResearchGroup.org, my main site, where people, this is primarily for the press, that has a lot of information, but most importantly, it has 173 of the key documents there to be read, thumbnailed, in chronological order, so any member of the press could follow this. Plus, we sent 2 full sets of copies to major newspapers, and they didn't want to touch it. So this thing has been festering for 10 years, since the year 2000, or almost 11 years. And what has happened is we're about to bring it back into play big time, because the Rockefeller Initiative is the focus of the second petition, which reads as follows. Right? Oh, hang on a second. Come down. Read this. This is what is going to go up on the White House website for all to see around the world in 6 days. We petition the Obama administration to immediately investigate UFO-ET disclosure efforts during the Clinton administration, the Rockefeller Initiative. The Obama administration has formally stated the U.S. government has no evidence that any life exists outside our planet or that an extraterrestrial presence has contacted or engaged any members of the human race, quote unquote. If true, what was the Clinton's Office of Science and Technology Policy investigating from March of 93 to October of 1996 in concert with billionaire Clinton friend Lawrence Rockefeller? Those who knew and have not spoken publicly of this initiative include Bill Clinton, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Obama, Transition Chair John Podesta, et cetera, Panetta, Gore, Richardson. And then we have the 2 links to the documents confirming all of it right there on the petition. This is what goes up on February the 23rd. Let me tell you, Mike, the White House is going to have a really tough time responding to this petition if we get the 25,000 signatures we need.
I don't think there's any doubt that'll happen.
Well, given the media we have, obviously I'm encouraging everybody to sign this. I'm encouraging them to spread the word to their friends on Facebook, MySpace, through their email list, and so forth. But for those that don't understand how this works, it's very simple. The direct link to the petition will be published on February the 23rd, or you can find the petition by going to whitehouse.gov and then going to We the People. You pull up a petition, and it's going to ask you to create an account. And in order to create an account with We the People, you click on it, and you put your first and last name and your email address. You can add your city and state, city and country, because guess what? Anyone in the world can sign. It's not just American citizens. And they send you back an email with a verification link, just like, when you open accounts with banks and stuff, and a password. You use the password, click the verification link, go back, use the password, enter, log in, and then you can sign the petitions you want to sign from that point forward.
And at that point, we'll pick up when we come back. That's a fabulous point. Easy to get to, easy to sign. Everybody ought to be doing it. Stay with us. And so the question is, ladies and gentlemen, very simply, do you want the government to acknowledge what it already knows, that we've had visitations from other planets, extraterrestrials from elsewhere in this universe? Stephen Bassett, the UFO lobbyist, is here, and he's got a petition that's going to be going up February 23rd at the White House website so that everybody can sign that, get 25,000 signatures. So the White House has to respond to that point. Stephen, is there any doubt in your mind that we had visitations, for example, near Roswell, New Mexico in 1947?
Roswell was an alien spacecraft that crashed. There may have been actually 2 other crashes at the same time. Those who have any lingering doubts, read the recent book Witness to Roswell by Carey and Schmidt. Overpowering, absolutely overpowering. We got a couple hundred witnesses have been engaged one time or another on this. It was an alien spacecraft. So consequently, and that's just the beginning. There's a huge amount of evidence confirming the ET presence. The government knows this, but they're not quite ready to end this truth embargo, and so at this point they've taken this hard line. But they're under pressure from other countries. They're under pressure from the movement. And so this petition process may be a tactical error on their part. They may not have realized what could come from it when they did it. I mean, it's a wonderful idea, and there are lots of issues being put up. But this one is an issue all by itself of another kind. So we're going to try to break this open. And the Rockefeller Initiative, I have always felt, was the Achilles heel of the truth embargo because of the people involved. 3 of those people have run for president. 1 became president, Bill Clinton. They hold extreme positions of power. One of them may yet still become president, and yet they feel it's not important for them to talk about this issue. Plus, they won't even discuss what took place in their own White House under their watch. And this kind of disregard for the public's need to know is simply no longer acceptable, and it's why people are becoming so intensely cynical about American government, why things don't work anymore. If you lie to somebody repeatedly, year after decade, after a while, they just don't care what you think. They don't want to participate in government, and they don't trust what you say, and things just don't go well. So and that's just the beginning. I mean, the reasons I could spend hours talking about the reasons why disclosure needs to take place. So this petition goes up February 23, and we're going to make a drive to get 25,000 signatures, forcing a response from the White House. But more importantly, as those signatures mount up and the media begins to realize, and they are paying attention, that we are going to reach that threshold and trigger a response from the White House, their interest is going to increase substantially, and they're going to pay attention. They're going to start going to those links that are listed there and reading these documents. And they're going to realize, my God, this happened. And they may start asking questions of the people that we have mentioned here And then, of course, the Obama administration is going to have to somehow respond to this and not look profoundly out of the loop. We could create a media storm, Mike, that might rival the Lewinsky sex scandal. And I'm telling you, when a media storm gets going, when a media feeding frenzy gets underway, there is no power on earth that can stop it. Whether you're the president, whether you're the head of the CIA, nothing. It's like a tsunami, right? And so that's what we're trying to do, and I think it could happen. So let's find out. Let's get those 25,000 signatures. Disclosurepetition.info, the link directly to the petition will go up that morning, mid-morning. And, of course, media coverage will be listed there. YouTube videos are going to be made by people around the world, probably a couple of dozen. Those will be shown there. And then, of course, the petition will reside at the White House website in the We the People section.